Well, so continuing the story of the forces of Box 1 in Genesis. Yes, the 8,000 forces of Box 1 in Genesis. Well, we could be on a satellite planet. Like in Star Wars shows of satellite planets in Star Wars, if you catch that movie by George Lucas. Okay. Could be in a satellite planet far away from the real Box 1 Genesis. And we probably won't get anywhere near it because we're kind of like tribal people, like we're tribal, like sex and stuff, and like working and like basic stuff a lot. Like just, I noticed like most of the planet just like sleeps a lot. It's a rock too, it's like a stone. I think in Box 1 Genesis, it doesn't look like a giant box, I don't believe. But it's like a whole discussion, similar to what Roger Penrose wrote in Cycles of Time. I showed you the diagram and lots of stuff. Look at Cycles of Time. There's a diagram in there with a giant cube, and in it there are cubes, and one cube falls off. That's the beginning of Box 1 Genesis. That's Box 1. It's about understanding anything about the universe. But getting back to a tougher discussion on it. This is all fiction, by the way. I know Penrose is non-fiction, science. And the thing is, like, how an artist can see things sometimes. That's what books are beautiful. Books, yeah, they're beautiful because, like, you can understand different things from different perspectives. Anyway, the thing of Box 1 Genesis is it looks like, God's in it. The 8,000 forces might be there. There might be no trace of them because you can't trace a force. But you can get to planetary regions that might have been mapped already, that are so far away that you actually can't believe what could be going on in the other rainbow of universe, the other side of the rainbow. Far away. Far, far away. Look how Star Wars begins in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah. They could be in some kind of universe that might be another universe. Like a baby universe or something else. Much more complicated. Omniverse, all that stuff's all complicated. But anyway, according to the story, that the mantra that I'm talking about, it's really a mantra, it's a long one. The thing is, like, you actually have to get to a point where you can understand it's not really the end. We could just be in a place of rest, just relaxing. I know the planet could freeze over, but some people think that things need to be like chilled out. Science might have advanced further than we think, but we don't know that. We might actually end up on another one, like Io or Neptune, or if there is water on the moon, then a lot of cool things have happened. It may not drinkable water, but it looks like a complicated thing. The universe, planets are American. Like the Earth is American. That's why there's Americans. That's why there's Japanese. That's why there's different cultures. The planets control that, really. That's kind of mysterious. You can't find it because they're not in our spectrum. They're not with us necessarily. It seems like they are. They're just too massive. The thing is this. You actually have to understand too much on this planet, so it looks like you have to kind of elevate to incredible extents eventually one time. It's the point of karma. But Box 1 Genesis, I don't believe, is in the karmic wheel. I think it's further than that. Much further. Karma is like a time of work, rest, and play. And if we're at the planet also, things get complicated, that is a center of a lot of karma, then we ended up in a good location. which means we did a good job a lot. We did a good job. The only thing is, like, planets close up, they continue. Just because it freezes over, life is uninhabitable, doesn't mean she's gone. No one can understand these concepts. I think it's all speculation, some gibberish. But really, planets could be forces. A lot of forces on a planet. You wouldn't be able to maintain any kind of civilization without the forces helping. Now, deities are like forces too. That's why you never understand a deity. You never understand like deities. No one can. You say God is enigmatic. It's been said. Yeah, a lot of them are. They're kind of like they work. They like it. You know what they like, and they do weird things. They act erratically. If you think an insect looks erratic, like a fly, move their head like radically, they're much odder than that. And that's what the Earth shows you a little, how wild things can be. And they don't mean to be odd. That's how they appear so far. See, forces hold everything, gravity, all that stuff, holds things intact. I used to be fascinated with science. I used to think when I was young things are purely like what they are, like not anything more than what it is, what it appears to be, maybe, but the matter that makes it what it is too. Later on, I took art and found out, and religion came into the picture. Art and religion don't clash, really, too much. The thing is, the major religions, yeah. The thing is, like, modern art and classic art are very important, I believe. And I think in these calm, peaceful planets that we live in, there'll be a lot of it. Probably is a lot of it now. And anyway, but going back to the forces of Box 1 Genesis, you actually can't believe, right, Box 1 Genesis means like an origin of a massive understanding of the universe that doesn't agree necessarily with the whole idea of being in a tree of boxes, or what I said, a tree of boxes in a manner of speaking. It looks like all branches of intelligence. Now, if you think clones are funny, they're not. No one really likes to be a clone. No one really likes to be existent as something not relevant in like a data bank of something that they don't know. The thing of a clone shit, my opinion is on that, is it may or may not get far, may or may not improve anything either. Because humans is a lesson of the Earth. You should maintain a degree of humanity at least. A degree, and it might. You might have to get used to more automation because there's too many people. Like, less manpower. There's not enough manpower. And women have been rising in the marketplace a lot. They've been living in the dark ages the whole time. If you read books about women, a good movie to write is Yentl. Yentl's a good movie. I think it was with Barbara Streisand. I saw it when I was young. Yeah, it's a movie about women that lived in the dark ages. They take care of the home, kids, be proper, look right, do all the work, be the baseline of the man that is in charge of the house. It's been a story of oppression, minimally, a lot, comparatively to great power, not oppression, just like an old-time way of thinking. And then you got to think of when they emerge into the marketplace, how dangerous that could be. Men think, you might think men are not as powerful, but this can be like buffoons a lot. They're just like apes. They care about food, and that's it, and money. But yeah, it gets to be complicated. Men are been evolving in the marketplace a lot. Yeah. The only thing is, like, in a planet of dormancy, almost. Dormancy. You actually can't believe the comedy of the 8,000 forces of Box 1 Genesis. It looks like space-time and nature are the mitochondria, or the center of the whole thing. And we're so distant from it, we can talk about it. You probably can't talk about that if you're anywhere close to proximity of it. But getting back to a better point. Well, good morning. It looks like the whole thing keeps on cycling away from it. Because we're not capable of handling a power that could be potentially a major answer to anything. Like how things originated, why there's an origin at all, what is the universe, and how ancient is the universe, and if it lasted forever before anything. It seems like you just have to find a habitat and try to protect it against who knows what. But it's a fascinating thing, because I don't disagree at this point. I don't disagree with modern advancement, but I think it's too complicated for average people to understand it. And I'm average, but I have thought about it a lot. I go to other levels. I'm eccentric. I have a mental illness that cripples me a lot here. It doesn't seem like it does, but it does. It looks like it's elusive, but a lot of findings have been found about balance of nature, and when there's an overpopulation is a circumstance at the end of time for us. It's not bad, because I understand the populace a little. I studied a little bit of sociology and populist stuff. They kind of bug out, like people bug out, like they just like have kids, they raise them, and it's like better. It is. It's like no one can solve anything. It comes down to it. No one can really solve. There's no. What I say a lot is it never equates. The equation really never equates massive to minimal. A lot of equations made sense. There's proven stuff. Products you have, everything, but the biggest equations that we can come up with are too complex. Our minds can't cover it. But on a good note, there is a positivity in this discussion. Things always escalate regardless of any ebb and flow of things. We're in escalation, which is good. Apexes are good.